Okay, some thoughts. Experiment 1. First of all, the coil could be replaced by a permanent magnet. Permanent magnet will only be good up to a certain strength. After that strength, it may create problems, extra drag on the rotor and all that sort of thing. The coil is only injecting a very, very small current into the stator at the moment. Other things, the bucking in the core, I tried to sort of make it obvious in the last video, but the bucking in the core could be done from the output of the coil. The key is that you must have a reasonable output over here. You saw in the last video that the output was hardly affected at all, whether it was bucking or whether it was in just standard running mode. What I forgot to show last time was when there's no bucking, there's no output on the bulb. You have to have this. These machines have to buck. When they buck, the coil on this side opposes the magnetic field on this side. The two coils work together. The magnetic fields interact together to generate extra energy. It's exactly the same as a generator, AC generator in the hydroelectric power plants. It's exactly the same technology, just used in a slightly different way. It's a timed response. Obviously, we're using the MOSFET to time the magnetic fields in the way that they interact together. I've tried to explain for years that this is done. It can be done so many different ways. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different ways that you can achieve this result. This is only just one of them. So some ideas to move forward. The basic circuit layout is there. The motor is not been modified at all, other than putting this coil on it. The brushes haven't been modified. Brushes haven't been modified at all. All I've done really is just strip the motor down. I've taken it to bits, popped the pins out of it, and all I've done is just wrap that coil on the top bit. The reason for the coil, I don't know if you can see, but the reason for the coil is when it injects a small magnetic field into the stator, the attraction of the rotor, and when it all connects, it attracts a magnetic field into the rotor. Okay, so all it really does is it creates a little bit of extra torque in the motor by adding this magnetic field at the top here. And like I say, that could be a permanent magnet, and by adding a little bit of extra torque, it helps with the bucking, helps with the speed of the motor. Now, most people probably won't be aware, but the faster you can get these machines to buck, the faster the bucking. It's the same standard equations with electromagnetic induction. It's the time rate of change of the magnetic fields. If you can get them interacting very fast together, you get a lot of power. Now you need to be very careful, obviously, because this is extremely dangerous. You could, have some serious issues on your hands. Anyway, it works. Some thoughts, some improvements. Very, very, very basic. I mean, if you knew someone that was throwing out a washing machine, you can get this completely together for only a couple of dollars. There's nothing magic here. It's very, very simple. It's just a case of getting your polarities right. The polarity of this coil needs to be right. The brushes, polarity of the brushes, the polarity of your switching on your stator coil. Very, very simple technology. Very cheap, very easy to put together. For some reason it seems to be very, very hard to understand for some people. Some people just don't understand that two magnetic fields interacting together. I call them partnered output coils because it's the only thing that makes sense. When they buck together, the two output coils, partnered output coils, when they buck together, produces electrical energy in exactly the same fashion as an AC generator. Very, very simple technology.